Hey guys, welcome back to another video. All right, let's quickly talk about the upcoming Blitz week or road check week to see what to expect. Now, I know that many of you are already aware that there is a Blitz week coming up next week and you know what it entails, but I think it's important to dive into the details so that as many people as possible can pass this with flying colors. Ready? Let's go. So Blitz Week is going to kick off on Tuesday, May 13th and end on Thursday, May 15th. And every year is a different focus. Last year, for example, the focus was on tractor protection and controlled substances or alcohol possession. This year, the focus is tires and hours of service. Now, something that is very important to note is that even though there is a focus, it doesn't mean that the DOT officer is not going to check anything else. No, the DOT officer is going to most likely go through the 37-step level 1 inspection and check everything, but pay very close attention to the categories that are part of the focus, which means tires and hours of service. All right, let's dive into the two focus areas now. So for the tires, this is what you should expect for the inspector to look at or pay attention to. I'm going to read this. Low tread depth, audible air leaks, flat tires, belt material or casing ply exposed in the tread or sidewall, tread or sidewall separation, bulges in the sidewall, improper repairs such as rubber-coated plugs in the sidewall, items lodged between dual tires. In other words, this is a fantastic time right now to double and triple and quadruple check your tires to make sure everything is in proper order, and if it's not, to either make the necessary repairs or switch out those tires entirely. All right, the next one is one that I see a lot of commotion about, at least in social media, and that's the fact that another focus is the hours of service. Recently, Overdrive sat down with a CVSA roadside inspection expert, his name is Jeremy Disbrow, to figure out what folks should expect in terms of the hours of service focus. Now, Jeremy said that the DOT, the officers, everyone basically is acutely aware of the fact that there is a growing issue with folks tampering with their ELDs, their logbooks. So the focus this year is not just going to be on hours of service, it's going to be on false logs. So what are inspectors going to be looking for? I'm going to quote this. Misuse of the off-duty driving status of personal conveyance is chief among them, or the off-duty not driving status for yard moves. Now, Jeremy Disbrow noted that personal conveyance is going to be under scrutiny this year simply because this is the most common way people are able to manipulate their logs. And it doesn't help the fact that the use of personal conveyance is not always crystal clear, and very often it's at the discretion of the officer to decide whether your use of personal conveyance was okay or not. All right, now that we are done with the focus of this year's Blitz Week, let's talk about some historical numbers. So historically, during the 72-hour Blitz Week, approximately 15 commercial vehicles are inspected every single minute across North America. Now that translates to about 64,800 inspections over that 3-day period. And out-of-service rates are not that low according to the data. So data from 2023 shows that 19% of inspected vehicles were placed out of service due to violations, and that's about 14,300 trucks. In 2024, it was even higher. 23% of vehicles inspected were placed out of service, and that's about 17,479 trucks in that 3-day period. So it's no surprise that every single year during Blitz Week, there are going to be some folks who would rather skip working that week instead of risking a potential out-of-service order that costs time and money. And according to the data, because of folks sitting that week out, capacity usually decreases by about 16.3%. 3% during Blitz week, and of course that gives a temporary boost to rates. So yeah, guys, be careful out there, get your trucks in order, and try to limit the use of personal conveyance, not just now because of Blitz week, but in general, because really it is at the discretion of the officer. I had a situation a couple of years ago where my guy got a violation for 17 minutes of personal conveyance that he used because he ran out of hours and could not find a safe place to park. The reason for the violation is because he was moving for those 17 minutes in the direction of delivery. And the officer was not interested in hearing the excuses that there was no parking anywhere else, regardless of whether he went back or forward. So just be safe out there. And if you're one of those people who chooses for any reason to sit this one out, then I hope that you enjoy a much needed break from the trucking market. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Wishing you a fantastic rest of your week and a fantastic start to your next week.